What can you think of that has come to New Mexico and has created real, true growth?
The way the movie incentives work is a producer in Hollywood or New York wants to make a movie, and they want to make it as inexpensively as possible. They look down the list of states that offer incentives.
And these days, when you're in competition with Michigan, and you're in competition with North Carolina, and you're in competition with Georgia or Louisiana, we don't just budget New Mexico, we budget all those states.
All the studios do that. They basically have departments that crunch every locale, pluses and minuses in terms of what they may be offering.
So they say, okay, let's go to New Mexico. And they come and they spend a lot of money here. And after they spend the money, we account for the money and audit it very closely. And then we perform on our promise to give them the incentive money back. That's why they were here in the first place.
Right now we've got a full-time crew of 135 people. In the last week we have employed anywhere between 100 and 125 extras every day.
I've worked on projects that have spent anywhere from $4 million to close to $30 million in a very short time.
We're going to spend somewhere around probably $5 million in the next 2 months. And that could go up as high as $7 million, I would guess.
TV shows of the kind I do, we spend $1 million a week.
And when we spend $25 million, that's going to go through your economy, not just once. It's going to be paid to someone who has to buy groceries. Now it's gone through 2 times. And the person who's getting a wage at that supermarket is going to go out and buy a car, so it's gone through 3 times. And the person who's buying, who gets the car is going to have to go out and take a loan, and it's going through 4 times.
And so I see a great deal of money staying in New Mexico.
I'm glad that money's coming in, because that means it's money from outside the state coming into the state and being used in the state of New Mexico.
The gains that we've had as a hotel company in the last 4 to 5 years from the film industry have been well over 20,000 room nights.
I know that 50% of what I generate is generated by the movie industry.
If the incentive went away, that would probably take 30 to 40% of our revenue.
Films and TV productions cover approximately 30 to 40% of what we do a year.
We have 8 employees, and we have 25 to 30 service-related businesses that help us do what we're doing, whether it be a carpenter, a plumber, electricians, mechanics, people that clean the trailers, and the list just goes on and on.
We would probably have to lay off, drivers, shop personnel, counter people, and possibly sales force. I mean, it's a huge part of our business.
I would have to lay off half of my staff, if not more, if I lose the movie business.
And then, of course, all these people have people that work for them and families, and they all pay taxes, and they all have property tax, income tax, gross receipts tax. It seems to me that the trickle-down effect goes a long, long ways.
We're all pretty lucky to actually have such a lot of great films being shot around here, and it's great for our students, it's good for the economy, it's good for workforce development.
We've reached a tipping point, which is pretty exciting. We're right at a place where we have some really tangible, full-body crews that we can use for the film industry. So it's pretty exciting.
There we go. All right, is that dolly set up? Let's go, guys!
Copy, there at the location, sir.
Roger that. People standing over with the dolly, get them over here.
Copy.
All right, guys, let's move.
I'm gaffing.
Okay.
Film incentives to us equals educational opportunity for kids. So if the incentives aren't there, or the rebates for the industry professionals, then basically, why are our students here learning what they're learning?
We saw figures the other day that suggest that the average graduation rate in New Mexico is hovering around 50% for high school kids. In cases where they're enrolled in media classes, the graduation rate is 92%.
I think that's the future of New Mexico. But if we don't really sort of take that momentum sooner or later, someone will be in competition with us, and we better be prepared for that.
We just need to have that continued support, because without it, it would be a very sad day in New Mexico. It's time to grow. This is a time when we need to be strong in our will to move forward with a vision and a dream that literally is going to be an economic power here in this state.